Alright, we're going to get started painting her. I'm using a number 3 round tip water brush with my watercolors. I'm going to be using a neutral tint, Naples yellow reddish, madder brown, Indian red, opera pink, and alizarin crimson for my reds. I think I used a little cad red light, turquoise, and a green color. I generally start off with the neutral tint as an undershadow, but I totally forgot to do that. So what I'm doing right now is creating a wash of the Naples yellow reddish. I like to do very thin layers, water down the watercolor and then go around and paint my colors and just put several layers on. I think it creates more depth that way and you have easier control over what it does on your paper. But here I am going in with my first layer of Naples yellow reddish, just trying to keep it in the main shadow areas, you know, around the eyes, under the hairline. Now I'm going to go along the side of the nose, under the nose, the little lip dip or Cupid's bow, around the side of the nose, under the lip, under the chin, in the ears, along the side of the face. And you'll see me go around a couple different times. I will also go back after I've painted down and use clear water to soften the edge lines. Watercolor is really quick to create a harsh line on the edge unless you go back, but you can just go back while it's still kind of damp and just take that edge off a little bit. Here I'm just continuing to paint in where I think the shadows would be. Trying to keep the cheeks and the bridge of the nose clean of any color. I don't know that I was super successful with that, but I tried from the start to do that. If there's a little bit of color on there, it's not a problem. I'll go back in later on with a white Sharpie paint pen and add a white highlight. I'll show you that later on. Here you can see me continuing to add color and trying to soften those lines. And going back in with the second swipe, just trying to deepen that color. Still using the Naples yellow reddish. That makes the Naples yellow reddish makes it a pretty light Caucasian color, and I like to use that as my base. And there you see me dabbing. I either had too much water or too much color, I'm not sure which. Something small like this, just a quick dab with the paper towel will help lift it. And I think here I'm creating another wash of some sort. I think I came in with the madder brown at this point. Yeah, that's madder brown. Going back in and trying to deepen my shadows. And again, I'm going into the same shadow areas in the inner ear, the inner eye, along the side of the nose, underneath the eye, underneath the nose, along the side of the face, under the chin, around the nostril flare, underneath the lip. I'm going to go in underneath the hairline, just trying to deepen things. Trying to bring her alive a little bit. Yeah, just keep going around, trying to deepen wherever I think there needs to be more shadow. You're probably tired of hearing me say this, but I'm also keep going back and softening the lines, just kind of going around in a circle, adding color and trying to touch up the lines a little bit. And at this point, I figure out that I forgot the neutral tint, so I'm creating a wash of the neutral tint. I prefer to add this on at the beginning, but it's not a big deal. Just adding something like this, it helps to just give a little extra something to the face, helps to deepen the lines. You could use Payne's Gray instead of neutral tint. You could use an indigo blue. If you have like Daniel Smith colors, you could use this Shadow Violet or Moon Glow. I just happen to like the look of neutral tint, so that's generally what I wind up using. You could also, if you don't have any of those colors, you could use just a blue or a purple color. But again, just going around the shadow areas, trying to deepen it, trying to take the edge off with clear water off the edge of those lines. There you see me putting shadow in the eye underneath the upper eyelid. That helps to give a 3D effect to your eyes. Just going around, keep adding color, softening the edges. And here I'm going in and adding Indian red. It's a reddish brown color. You could use burnt sienna, burnt umber, Indian red, Venetian red. I just like the look of a reddish brown. And same thing as before, a light wash, shadow areas. and then going back and softening the edges. And going through and adding the line between the lips, just starting to get down to the details before we start adding color, which I'll do in the next video. Going back, softening the lines. Getting hair out of the way. I have two long hair cats, so I usually wind up with hair everywhere.